We can't cry over Corona. Waking up with text that show a list Saturday night, that famous Shabbat that we all remember, that you open up your text, your email, and you see a list of 15 people that just died over Shabbat. That's not something that we could cry for. It's not something to cry over the people, the hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that were walking around Purim, laughing, happy, Mishloach Manot, Purim parties with their grandchildren. And a few weeks later, not in the world anymore? That's not something we could cry over? And how did they die? Can you imagine, Khalila, that they were in the hospital alone? Imagine these hundreds of people saying Shema Yisrael before their last breath alone, no family around them, no one to talk to them, no one to comfort them, in a hospital bed, dark, alone. And the stories where the hospital called, there was such chaos in the hospital that the hospital called families 3 days after the guy died because it was just too crazy. Oh, by the way, we forgot. But by the way, your father died. That's not something to cry for? And the sirens every 5 to 10 minutes in Brooklyn, I remember my window, 5 to 10 minutes is another siren. The fear, the loneliness. You have people having seders by themselves, alone, almanot, alone. Manishtana by themselves. And the shuls, and the yeshivas, do we ever think there would ever be? We have to understand what we went through. Can you imagine if there was a terrorist organization that took over one of our shuls and said, no Jews are allowed in this shul? What we would do? What we would feel? And every shul, every yeshiva was closed. This is the heart of our people. Do we understand what we went through? Not a yeshiva open. That's not something to cry for. That's the Churban. When the nurses had to decide which ventilators I should give to. These decisions, this Jew or that Jew. That's not something we can feel. I just can't stop thinking about these people that are said that died alone. By themselves. No one to say vidu with them. No one. We can't relate to that. And the poverty that caused, that the world was shut down in a day. Guy had a big business yesterday and today he's unemployed. Not knowing where to get food on the table from. Nowhere to turn. Nowhere else to apply for a job. Everything's closed, shut down. Do we understand the poverty that our people are going through? You know, I was talking to the head of Yad Eliezer. He was in the States. He's in charge of distributing food. I'm not talking about luxuries. I'm talking about food, basic food in Israel. He's the largest food distributor for the poor. And I asked him, I said, he already gives thousands and thousands of food and money. And so I asked him, how did it get to Corona? He said, I can't see the end of the waiting list. It's too long. We don't have enough money. You give me $5 million right now. I'll spend it in a second. That's how many people are there waiting for food. You're talking about Israel, our fellow brothers. The concept that, people don't understand what they live there before Corona. Where chicken is a luxury. They don't have, you ask them, why are you eating dairy on Shabbat? Who can afford chicken? Who can afford chicken? Not one family. We can't cry for them. Where children don't sleep on beds. There's a whole campaign raising money for beds. Beds? That's where we're here? That's where we're holding? We can't understand that? That's the Beit HaMikdash.